guys, welcome to Ingrid's Kitchen. Welcome back, and if you're new to this channel, don't forget, if you like this, subscribe, leave your like, share with the people that you think is going to enjoy this, so then we can grow this channel and help more people. So today I have a really easy recipe and delicious for you guys, and it's not bad in calories either. So three of it has 200 calories, so you can have a snack that is healthy and delicious, and I'm going to show you guys. So this is what we're making today. So this is typically known in Brazil as coxinha, and is made with chicken inside, but we're making with jackfruit. Okay, and this is nice and crispy, and I hope you guys can hear this. Delicious. So let's go and see this delicious recipe.
Okay, I'm using a pressure cooker to make my cassava. I'm using 1 kilo of cassava, but you can cook in a normal pan as well. It's just gonna take longer. So I'm adding the cassava into my pressure cooker with 1 tablespoon of salt and enough water just to cover the cassava. Okay, now it's gonna go into the middle heat. Now in another pan, I'm gonna add 1 onion chopped, and I'm not using oil, so I'm gonna use boiling water to caramelize these onions. Okay, so you just add a little bit of boiling water, bring to middle heat, and as the onions start to dry up the water, you add a little bit more until you get the onions all nice and brown. So now the onions are ready, we're gonna add our jackfruit. I'm using green jackfruit and I'm using 3 tins, but you can use only 2 as I had some leftover. I used the leftover to make a delicious pie, so you can do that as well. But if you don't want any leftover, just use your 2 tins and that will be enough. So add your jackfruits into the pan and make sure that you press down and break them up a little bit. Okay, now add 1 tablespoon of garlic powder, and we're gonna also add half tablespoon of turmeric. You can add anything else like smoked paprika or whatever flavor you really enjoy. I love turmeric to give a color and also the benefits that turmeric has for our health. So now we're gonna bring in to middle heat for about 5 minutes. Now I'm adding almost half tablespoon of salt. This we're gonna try as we cook alone and see if it needs more or less salt. We're also adding half teaspoon of black pepper, and again you can use more chili if you prefer. So this now is going to the middle heat. It's been in the middle heat for 5 minutes. I'm gonna press it down to break them up a little bit more. That's looking good now. Going back to the heat, and I'm gonna prepare a vegetable stock with a little bit of water so we can pour that in on our jackfruit. So just a little bit of boiling water, and use a fork to break down and mix all together. Now bring your jackfruit, and we're gonna add half cup of peas and half cup of sweet corn. I'm using frozen, but you can use fresh ones. And if you use fresh ones, you might not need your vegetable stock, although I do like the flavor that the vegetable stock brings into the jackfruit. So I'm only gonna add half what I made because I don't want to be too strong, and also we don't want any liquid, so all that liquid we are adding needs to be dry again, so our filling is ready. So I'm bringing back to the middle heat. Also I decide to add 2 tomatoes, and this makes nice and colorful, and you can add anything that you like. You also can add peppers. Just make sure that when you finish your filling, it's not water in it, it's dried. Okay, So now adding my tomatoes, and I'll bring it back to the middle heat again. The whole process should take about 15 minutes, okay? I'm gonna add a tablespoon of parsley, but you can add coriander. And like I said, the filling is you can add anything that you think is nice and tasty, okay? Now we're gonna bring to the heat again until everything dries. I'm trying for salt now, so because we added the vegetable stock, I'm just making sure that it's okay with salt. But I do think we can add a little bit more, so this is why it's so important for you to try the salt. You can also use tamari sauce, which will give a nice flavor as well and is a base for your salt. So now it's ready, it's nice and dried, and we're gonna rest that now and look into our cassava. So our pressure cooker started giving pressure. So when that starts, you need to wait about 10 minutes, okay, for your cassava to be ready. So 10 minutes is gone, and now we are going to take the pressure off the pressure cooker. Please be careful with this. If you've never done this before, I would prefer that you just leave on the side and let the pressure comes out slowly, okay? I'm used to using my pressure cooker, so I know how to take the pressure down. So it's by lifting and taking all the steam off. Do not attempt to open the span if you still have pressure inside, and this will cause a little explosion into the lid, and it will be danger. Okay, so once the pressure is being gone out completely, we're gonna open a pan carefully and check if our cassava is cooked. This is looking good, so it's nice and soft. Using a fork, you can just try to see. Now, inside the cassava, there is a little hard part that you need to remove. It's that what I'm showing you guys. So make sure that you remove that before we can mash our cassava. Now, this process is quite difficult because you need to do this while the cassava is still boiling hot, because we want to mash the cassava when it's still hot. So be careful with your hands, but do try to take this off while it's hot. Don't let it cool down, because otherwise you're not going to be able to mash the cassava and make the doughs, okay? So now we finish. I'm going to throw away all the bits that I removed from cassava, and we are ready to start mashing our cassava. So I'm using a mashed potato tool, and again, this is not going to be easy. This is a hard work, so use this as your arm work down, workout. So press down until you get into a soft dough. You will get there eventually, because some of the cassava will be harder and dry, and some will be nice and soft. So that combination will make you get a nice dough. So I'm just trying to see, no, it still needs a little bit more. And also at this point, you can try for salt. See if you need any more salt. I'm adding a little bit more salt in mine. Do you remember, we only pour 1 tablespoon, so I'm putting a little bit of more salt in. So now I'm going to finish mashing all. And because it's not as hot as it was before, I'm going to use my hands, okay? And as if you are making a bread, it's a little bit sticky into your hands, but it works okay. So carry on doing this until you get into a consistency that we're going to be able to work. So it's pretty much look like a bread dough. So I'm going to check now if I can roll it. And it's a good tip as well that we're going to be doing. I'm going to use a little bit of water in my hands to be able to shape the little doughs. So it's all good. And I'm going to prepare now the outside for the little balls, which is I'm using a gluten-free breadcrumbs and almonds milk. And in my almonds milk, I'm adding a little bit of salt, which is half teaspoon, and a little bit of black pepper, which is just a little bit. And now the jackfruit is ready and it's cold. I'm adding 2 tablespoons of nutrition yeast, and that makes sure that we get our B12, and also gives a nice taste into the jackfruit, but it's optional. You don't need to add if you don't like. So this is my water. So I'm using water in my hands, and with a tablespoon, I'm making the balls and pressing down to make a little shape to put the filling inside. this process is not as easy as it looks. So if you're not confident of doing this, you can also add almond milk into your cassava and use as a shepherd's pie and put the jackfruit on the bottom and then the mix of cassava on top and bake. And that's a delicious way of making as well. So now I'm shaping my little balls, and the coxinhas in Brazil has a little point. So I'm making that as well. So this is how you make it. Like I said, it's not easy, but it's not that hard once you start doing. And always use the water to help you molding, into the bowl. So we're gonna dip that now into milk first, and then into the breadcrumbs to be ready to go in the oven. So yeah, we are not deep frying this as is normally deep fry. So this is why this is so healthy and it doesn't have much calorie. We haven't added any flour and we are not deep frying. So this is now ready. I'm gonna carry on this process until I make all my coxinhas. Just making sure I show you guys again how to make it, the balls. If you want to try this, like I said, it's not difficult, and if you use your hands dipping in the water all the time, you can fix as well, because sometimes when you trying to mold it, and especially if you put too much fillings like I do, you can rip the bottom of the dough as well, and I'm gonna show you guys. So if that happen, all you need to do is get a little bit more dough and use the water to actually cover the bottom where it has been open, and I'm gonna show you guys how to do that. So can you see in here everything open in the bottom because I put too much filling in? If that happen, it's not a problem. Just get a little bit more of the dough and press in the bottom and use your hands with water to actually combine them together. You will see it all work really well, and because we're not deep frying this, there is no risk of this open once it goes in the oven. And don't forget, we also gonna dip this into the milk and then into the flour as well, not flour, breadcrumbs, sorry. So there we go, that's how we do it. And like I said, use the water just to finish it off, and it looks perfect. You can't even tell that it's been open. There we go. And I'm making different sizes because my husband likes the big ones. And this is why in the beginning of the video, I said it was just 200 calories because I worked it out as the small ones. But then I decided to make them bigger. So I used about 70 grams for each, and I made 14 of them. So that's why. But they still are very healthy snack. And in here, if you can see, I'm using one hand for the milk and one hand for the breadcrumbs. That way you don't make a mess and you also don't get your fingers all dirty, and it makes harder for you to get into the breadcrumbs. So this is a great technique as a factory worker to do it. So we are almost finished, and I'm gonna put mine in the air fryer. I was gonna do it in the oven, but I decided to do an air fryer to try, and it turned out amazing. Use 190 degrees for 15 minutes and it's ready. This is a great snack to eat with ketchup, vegan mayo, and with a salad. So I hope you guys enjoy this. Let me know in the comments. Bye.